Once you are ready to paint, we are going to start with the center rectangle. You are choosing one color. You are choosing one of the primary colors. So out of your paint kit, you are picking red, blue, or yellow. We are going to paint in monochrome style. So where you are going to use your one color plus white or plus black. So you can make tints and you can make shades of your blue. To paint, you are going to want a container to put water in. You are going to want your paint brushes. You are going to perhaps want your paint palette to mix your colors, or you may also want to use your mixing cups, either one. And also don't forget some paper towels, you're going to need them. If your paint ever settles and you have what looks like oil or it's actually acrylic medium kind of floating on the top, the paint is totally fine. You just need to give it a little bit of a stir and help mix that acrylic medium back in with the actual blue pigment. And the paint will be back to normal looking in no time. I'm going to start with the primary color of blue. It's my favorite out of the three. No other reason than that. I'm going to use straight blue. I am going to also make a light blue with a little bit of white, a tint of my blue, and I will also make a darker blue, a shade of my blue, by mixing a little black. I'm going to make a tint of blue by pouring out or scooping a little bit of blue into one section of my palette. I am also going to do that with white. And then what I can do is take as much as I want of each to make a light blue that I want to use. So I'm going to take a scoop of my blue. I'm going to wash that brush and get most of the blue off. And then I'm going to grab some of this white and start by mixing. And it is up to you what kind of tint you want. If you want it that light, or if you would like it to be a little darker. You're going to put a little bit more blue back in. And now I have a nice light blue, a tint to use in my painting. I am now going to make a shade of black. So adding to my palette, I'm going to squirt out a little bit of black. And then what I'm going to do is with a clean brush, again, make sure it's clean, you can hear me washing. I'm going to scoop out some of my blue. And now it's not going to take much black to change it. And that is all. What's up, man? Dark, I'm going to add even more blue.
Hey, how y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Just got out from another meeting. So the other meeting are on the way.
And now I have two different shades to use. One with a bit more blue, one more a little bit more navy blue. Acrylic paint tends to be a little bit translucent, especially when we're painting it on a white primed canvas already. So if some of the white is coming through your paint as it has dried, Feel free to go back over with a second layer of that same color. And what it is going to do is just help intensify that color and not really let that white show through. So feel free to go back over with a second layer if your paint is a little too translucent for your liking. And that's what I've been doing here. And there is my first section with our primary blue with tints and shades of our primary blue. I am going to let this rectangle of my primary blue thoroughly dry before I go to the next rectangle with my complementary color of my blue. Once you have finished your monochromatic section of the primary color you chose, you are then going to paint the next rectangle around it the complementary color of the color you picked here. So if I was to look at a color wheel, I have chosen to use blue. So the complementary is living across the color wheel, which is orange. If I had chosen yellow, my complementary would be purple. If I had chosen red, my complementary would be green. So you are either choosing blue and orange, yellow and purple, or red and green. I first have to mix orange because that is not in our kit. So I have my yellow, I have my red, and I have one of my mixing cups so that I can save this color for later. I'm going to start by pouring or scooping a bit of yellow in first. I like to start with the lightest color first, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of the darker color into it and start mixing till I get the orange that I would like. So I have put on my palette some orange where I added some white and mixed a little bit to make a tint. I also took some of my orange and added it into two sections and added a little bit of black to make a shade of orange. Again, a lot of black gets me something quite dark. Just a little bit gets me just a slightly darker version of orange. And now I have some colors that I am ready to paint the next rectangle on my painting. To begin, I'm going to start with my orange. And again, remember, if a color is very translucent, meaning we're seeing the canvas kind of through that color, like I am right now with the orange, you can always let that one layer dry and then go back over it again with some orange. So I just painted my complementary color of my orange with my primary blue. And as you can see, the orange is quite translucent, so I am seeing my brush marks and seeing the canvas. That is up to you if you want to be able to see the marks or if you would like them smooth. I am going to let this dry, and once it dries, I'm going to go back over with another layer of orange so that I smooth out those brush strokes. So that is a second layer of the orange, and you can see it did kind of smooth out and get rid of a lot of brush strokes. So I have a more of a solid orange. I could even go over it a third time if I wanted to. I will go back over the little veins of the slices and the seeds one more time so that they have a little bit more color on them as well and not so translucent. You have finished your primary with your complementary color and it has dried. The third rectangle is going to be an analogous color scheme. That is where we are going to choose 3 colors that are side by side on the color wheel. So deciding your analogous colors, you're going to take a look at a color wheel and you are going to choose 3 colors. And of course you can make tints and shades of those 3 colors if you want. I have been using blue and orange, so I am either going to go with blues and purples or I'm going to go with reds and oranges. I have not decided yet. So it is completely up to you which 3 colors you want to use on the color wheel together. It could be orange, yellow, lime green, red, purple, red, orange. It is up to you. And again, when we choose 3 colors side by side on the color wheel, they are analogous. And this example shows way more than 3. For my analogous colors, I'm going to use purple, our perfect grape soda purple as 1. Then I'm going to mix a color that has some more red in it. So we're going to have a red purple as one of my 3. And then I'm going to mix another purple and add more blue into it. So I have a blue purple. And I will have 3 analogous colors to use on my painting. I just finished 1 layer of purple, and again, even though it is a dark color, purple is still very translucent, so I am seeing the white canvas and my brush strokes once again, so I can let this purple layer dry and go back over it once or even twice if I'd like the purple to be a bit more intense. I'm going to mix one of my analogous colors, so I have purple as 1. So what I need to do is put some purple into a cup, and what I am going to do is make a blue purple. So I am going to add as much blue as I would like till I get a color that I enjoy. And I end up with a much more blue purple than my original grape soda. So there are 2 of my 3 analogous colors, and I'm going to mix the third to make a red purple. Again, I'm going to pour a little bit of purple into the cup. This time I am going to pour a little bit of red, again as much as I would like, till I transform that purple into a red purple that I am happy with. I'm making sure that all that blue's off my brush. And now I'm going to mix. And I now have, I'm going to put a little bit more purple in there. Must be got a little carried away with the red. And now I have this raspberry kind of red purple color with my blue purple here and my perfect purple, and those will be the 3 analogous colors that I will be using. I have painted with my 3 analogous colors, the purple, the blue purple, and the red purple. Again, all of these colors are a bit translucent, so I am going to let them dry, and I'm going to apply a second layer so I get the color a little bit more bright and intense like I would like. The last color scheme that we are going to use for our last rectangle on our painting is we are going to use triadic. And triadic are 3 colors equally spaced out on the color wheel, so that there are 3 colors in between each of them, okay? There are 4 possibilities that I have posted on It's Learning. They are the primary, red, blue, yellow. They are the secondary colors, green, purple, orange. And then we have 2 sets of tertiary. One that is lime green or yellow green, one that is blue purple, and one that is red orange. And then the last trio is turquoise, a yellow orange, or a red purple. I am actually going to use these 3 triadic colors, turquoise, red purple, and yellow orange. And I did use a red purple already, so I may be making a tint of this one. I'm going to start off by mixing my turquoise. So I am going to use some blue and some yellow, but I am only going to put in a tiny bit of yellow. So I'm going to put some next to it so I can scoop out just a little at a time with my paintbrush till I get the turquoise that I might want. I have the red purple that I made from the last set of colors. So I'm going to tap out a little bit of that into a section. And again, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of white so that I make a tint. And we'll see what that looks like. I'm now going to take the orange that I made and I'm going to scoop out a little bit of that. And to make my yellow orange, I'm going to add more yellow. And I could certainly add a tiny bit of white if I would like as well. So now I have my triadic color scheme. I have a turquoise, then I have a tint of the blue or red purple, excuse me, that I made, and I also have a yellow orange. So I'm going to use these 3 colors in the last bit of my painting.